welcome to Tech Total Access. I'm Jill Hurt.
And I'm Janae Green. On today's show, we will be recapping games from each and every one of our Hokie sports teams.
VTTV got exclusive footage of the introduction of the new basketball coach.
Rachel Franks for VTTV here in Castle Coliseum, where Virginia Tech is about to introduce new head coach Buzz Williams. Williams comes to Blacksburg from Marquette, where he was their head coach for 6 seasons. He led the Golden Eagles to 5 NCAA appearances, including 2 Sweet 16s and 1 Elite 8. Williams has had 6 of his former players play in the NBA. He has signed a 7-year contract for $20.9 million with the Hokies. I got a chance to hear from the new athletic director, Whit Babcock, Williams, and some past Hokie players on the new hire.
We made the very difficult decision last week to make a change in the leadership of our basketball program. There were those who were quick to say that Virginia Tech cannot become an elite basketball school. But I believe differently, and I know many of you, if not all of you, did as well. As I told Coach Williams during our meetings late last week, it's not where we have been as a program or where we are now, but rather where we're headed, where we want to go, and where we aspire to be. Buzz Williams will work hard to build our program to national prominence. It will take time, and we will give him that time, and he will build it right, one step at a time, and he will need all of us to play a role too. He will need our help, our investment, and our support. Coach, that we wanted the revolving door of coaches to stop, and that we certainly had high expectations, but that he would have the time to build it and do it right. And all I'm looking for as an athletic director and for our fan base is improvement and moving up the ladder, but our ultimate goal one day is to be in the NCAA tournament, and our goal one day is to win the ACC championship. So there was a list of candidates, and I'd really rather not get into the timing, but the first time that Buzz and I talked face-to-face, and my days run together, was very late on Thursday. And that probably took 7 or 8 hours and went on into Friday, and that was that. And other than that, the timetable is probably better left confidential. But no, I had no candidate in my back pocket, talked to no coaches while James was our head coach. I just like to make a list and really go hard after the top candidate. And I usually say something along the lines of, we have a short period of time, and if we can get this done, I'd like for you to be my next coach, and if not, I will very quietly go away and you go away, and hopefully we have each other's word that it's confidential, and then I go on to the next candidate. And fortunately, in this case, our top candidate said yes, and Buzz was, well, I checked on a lot of other coaches, was the only coach I sat in front of and the only coach we offered the job to. And ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming your new head basketball coach, Coach Buzz Williams.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I appreciate your passion. I appreciate your excitement. I'm very, very honored, very thankful to be here, humbled by the chance, excited for the opportunity. I think it's a sleeping giant. There's a lot of work to be done. I'm thankful that Whit and President Sands believed that I was worthy of this chance. And what I can tell you without promising you anything other than you'll have my heart, you'll have my soul, I'll work at it every single day, and I'll do right by this institution, I'll do right by this department, I'll do right by our program, and I'll also do right by alumni and those that are in the community that support Virginia Tech. I'm excited for the growth of this program. I think it's a sleeping giant. I think that it's been done here before. I think it's time to do it again. I don't think that you can. I told Whit this, I don't think that you can do it in a day. I don't think that you can do it in a season. I don't think that you can do it in one recruiting class. I don't think you can do it with one head coach. I don't think you can do it with 5,000 fans. It has to be everybody pulling in the same direction for the right reasons, for the right purposes, for the right things. And I don't mean that exclusively about winning games. I mean that for growing young men to become the husbands and the fathers, to be the best that they can be in their life after basketball and during their life in basketball to become the best player they can be. But the only way that they can become the best player they can be is to be the best student that they can be and to be the best young man that they can be. And I can't be that guy every single day to everybody. And so the coaches that I hire, the staff that I hire, the players that we recruit, we all have to pull in the right direction, and we all have to understand that it's not exclusively about basketball, but basketball is the vehicle that we will use to become the best that we can be. The reason that I came here is for the challenge of building this program to do those things, so that it is deeper than winning, and so that it is deeper than just the kids that are on our team. It's the residual impact, so when the next Bimbo Coles and the next Ace Custis have their jerseys retired, the next generation says, I remember that. I remember when I was at Virginia Tech. I remember when I went to those games. That's what this is about. I have absolutely zero negative things at all to say about Marquette. I have zero negative things to say about the city of Milwaukee. I have zero negative things to say about anybody that would be, have been, or is, or was my superiors. The older I've gotten in this business, I've tried to stay away from all of the media because I think that there's already a slant on the story, and I didn't say those words. I was there 7 years. That's the longest I've ever been anywhere. That's where my children have been raised. And that community and that institution literally graced us and wrapped their arms around us. And I will never forget and will always cherish the basketball portion of it, because that program was built long before I was there, and they're gonna have ultra level success now that I'm gone, because that is engineered to be successful. The thing that I'm excited about here is I want you to come back, because the slant of your story before you wait on my quote to plug it in is, how did you guys turn this? And that fires me up, that excites me, that engages me. Can we do it? We're gonna do everything, every day, in every way to be the best that we can be, not only in here, but in the classroom, in the office, in the weight room, in the community. And I think it's going to end up being a really, really good chapter in the book that you're going to write on Virginia Tech basketball. Thank you. I've tried to handle all of it the right way. I think transition is hard. I think if you took a job with USA Today, it's hard. I got here late Friday night with Corey. We had a team meeting Saturday morning. As soon as the team meeting was over, Tom drove me to the airport. I went to New York. I was in studio with CBS and those guys all day, all night. I flew back first thing Sunday morning. We went and looked at some houses. I worked with the guys, met with HR, met with compliance, met with WIT. And then it's just been a crazy day thus far today. I've got to take her home tomorrow. I need to pack a few more clothes to wear. We need to sign some guys to help these guys. We need to get these guys understanding what we're about, what our culture is going to be. We need to hire a staff. I think anytime you hire a staff, it's more important than recruiting, because the staff has to be a mirror reflection to our team of what we expect of them as a team. And so a lot of decisions have to be made. I think the first 100 days on any job are always what sets the foundation and lays the groundwork. I want to be thoughtful, but yet I want to be ruthless in how we go about that. And so there's a lot of things, obviously, that we've got to do, but if you don't take care of your team, you can't ever expect them to take care of you. And so the first priority today and tomorrow and the rest of the time that I'm here will be our team. And so everything will be prioritized over what is best for our team.
High energy guy, and he's really genuine. He's going to demand a lot, absolutely. We're excited.
Surprised too. Bud Williams is a brand name coach. We hear his name all the time with him and Marquette. He's a great coach. We're excited to have him, and we're looking forward to what he's going to do here for us.
Very surprising actually. You got a high-profile coach who's been in 6 years. A guy who's won games in Marquette. Just from being from Pittsburgh, I watched him coach all the time. Just from playing big. You can tell what kind of guy he is.
Virginia Tech Wrestling won the ACC Championship for the second year in a row. VTTV caught up with some coaches and players after the match.
The wrestling team made history last weekend by finishing 8th with 49 points in the NCAA Wrestling Championships for the first time in school history. It was the team's second straight top 10 finish. Redshirt junior Devin Carter led the team with a second-place finish at 141 pounds after coming back from a hamstring injury just 2 weeks ago. Carter was a number 4 seed coming into the tournament and won 4 straight matches to reach the finals. He is the first Virginia Tech wrestler to ever reach the finals. In the final match, Carter fell 10-1 to a two-time national champion from Ohio State. Number 16 seed freshman Joey Dance ended up in 4th place at 125 pounds. He lost in the second round but battled back to finish in 4th place and become an All-American. 14th ranked Chris Penny upset his bracket and came in 6th place, earning All-American honors. No other Hokies placed, but 6 others competed, and their victories helped Tech score the 49 points.
The Virginia Tech baseball jumped out to an early 5-run advantage to post its 4th straight win, a 6-3 victory over Rutgers at English Field Wednesday night. The victory notched the Hokies' 1,200th career win in Blacksburg. They are now 10-8-1 on the season. After the Hokies loaded the bases with 1 out in the first with 2 walks and a single, Sean Kaselica and Tom Stoffel hit back-to-back 2 RBI doubles to put Tech up 4-0. Ricky Sarum then hit a 2-out double to plate Stoffel with the 5th run. The pitching staff took it from there. Tech starter Luis Collazo did allow bases loaded doubled in the 3rd, but the Hokies' relief pitchers combined to toss 6.1 scoreless innings to keep Rutgers off the board. The Hokies added an insurance run in the 8th frame as Alex Perez threw a 2-out base-loaded walk to score Stoffel. Scarretta improved to 2-1 with the win, while Scherzer saved his 2nd game of the season. The Hokies went on the road where they faced Notre Dame in the 3-game series.
The baseball team lost to the Notre Dame Fighting Irish 2-1 on Friday night. Brad Markey threw a complete game for the Hokies, allowing 2 runs on 6 hits and striking out 6 batters. Notre Dame was the first to score in the 5th inning on a ground out. The Irish scored again in the 6th off a wild pitch. Tech was able to cut Notre Dame's lead in half in the 9th when Alex Perez scored Sage Jenko on a single. However, that was all the offense the Hokies were able to get going as they fell to the Irish 2-1. Tech faced Notre Dame again on Saturday.
In that game, the baseball team beat Notre Dame 8-3 to tie the series up. The Hokies were led by Mark Zagunis, who drove in 3 runs and scored twice for Tech. Tech jumped out to a quick lead in the 4th when Zagunis produced a 2 RBI double to right center to give the Hokies a 2-0 advantage. 2 batters later, Sean Kaselica singled to score Zagunis. With 2 outs, Tom Stoffel scored on a throwing error to give Tech the 4-0 lead after the 1st. The Hokies scored 4 more runs in the 2nd as Zagunis and Brendan Hayden each had RBIs. Kaselica had an RBI double to drive in Zagunis, and Hayden scored off a sac fly by Stoffel to give the Hokies an 8-0 lead. Notre Dame was able to put 3 runs on the board, but it would not be enough as the Hokies' offense outworked the Irish. Kaselica earned the win for the Hokies on the mound as he tossed 5 innings, allowing 3 runs on 3 hits and recording 2 strikeouts. Tech faced the Irish one final time on Sunday to determine who would win the series.
In that game, the baseball team took their first ACC series over Notre Dame with a 5-4 victory in 12 innings. The game started off with Tech scoring an unearned run when freshman Sage Jenko stole home. The Fighting Irish were then able to respond by scoring 3 runs in the bottom of the 1st inning. The Hokies scored 2 more runs in the next 2 innings to tie up the game at 3. Notre Dame was able to take a 1-point lead in the 6th, and Tech once again came back to tie the game in the 7th at 4-4. Neither team scored again in regulation, and the game went into extra innings. In the top of the 12th inning, catcher Mark Zagunis was able to score a game-winning run off an error by the Irish. The Hokies used 5 pitchers in the game. Luke Scherzer recorded the win on the mound, while Sean Kennedy earned his second save of the season. With the win, Tech moves to 12-9-1 on the season and 5-4 in the ACC. The team plays again on Wednesday when they travel to Liberty.
The Virginia Tech softball team was able to dominate Morgan State in a pair of games this past Thursday at Tech Softball Park. The Hokies won the opener 13-1 in 5 innings and went on with the second game 22-2, also in 5 innings. During the first game, the Hokies overcame the Bears by getting 16 hits and rolling to the win. Tech came out and scored runs in the first and second innings, followed by 6 runs in the third and 5 in the fourth. Danny Anderson led the Hokies with 3 hits and 4 RBIs. Lauren Gaskell, Amanda Ake, Michelle Prong, Logan Spa, and Alex Barnes all had 2. Toni Irwin had her first collegiate hit and RBI, while Bailey Little hit her second home run on the season and Laura Wolf picked up a hit. Maggie Tyler was 1 out away from a no-hitter, but allowed a run on a hit with 7 strikeouts. The game marked the first time Tech recorded 15 or more hits in a game since 2010, where they had 17 against Western Carolina. In the second game, the Hokies scored 12 runs in the first inning. Callie McGordrick and Katie Smith both had home runs, helping Tech record 8 hits in the inning. The 12 runs tied the school's record for runs in an inning set in 1998 against St. Louis. The second and third innings brought 5 runs each for the Hokies, adding to the record 22 runs in a game and 21 RBIs in a game. Vanessa Gonzalez went 3 for 3 with 4 runs and 5 RBIs and tied the school record for 2 Badgers in a game. Elizabeth Burley had a career high with 3 hits and 4 RBIs. McGoldrick had 2 hits and 5 runs, while Smith had 2 hits and 4 runs, and Kat Banks picked up a hit while trying the school's record with 4 runs. Alicia Richardson had 2 hits, while Kiera Oda, Jessica McNamara, and Kaylee Isaacs each had 1. Kelly Hines went 4 innings, allowing only 2 runs, 5 hits, and 7 strikeouts. With the wins over Morgan State, Tech moves to 15-12 overall, and Hokies travel to Raleigh for a 3-game ACC set against NC State this weekend.
In that game, the softball team picked up a split and a doubleheader with the NC State Wolfpack on Saturday. Tech lost the first game 6-3 before taking the second game 10-4. In the first game, the Hokies took the lead 1-0 in the third inning, adding another run in the fourth inning. NC State grabbed a 4-2 lead after a grand slam in the bottom of the fourth inning. The Hokies answered with a run in the fifth inning, making the score 4-3. The Wolfpack did not allow a Virginia Tech comeback as they secured 2 more runs in the bottom of the fifth inning. Danny Anderson and Amanda Ake each had 2 hits in the game, while Elizabeth Gaskell, Lauren Burl, and Bailey Little all had 1. Kelly Hines went all 6 innings, allowing 6 runs on 4 hits with 3 walks and 8 strikeouts. Thanks to their consistent hitting, the Hokies were able to secure a 10-4 win in the second game. The Hokies got things started early, scoring on an error in the top of the second inning. The Wolfpack responded with a pair of home runs in the bottom of the second to take the lead 3-1. Gaskell hit a home run to bring Tech back within 1. After that, Tech took control, plating 8 more runs between the third and sixth innings to account for the final tally. Katie Smith led the way at the plate in the big offensive outburst. Gaskell, Ake, and Vanessa Gonzalez each had a pair of hits, while Kat Banks had 1. Tech finished the series with NC State on Sunday.
In that game, the Hokies fell to the Wolfpack 5-0. Kelly Hines started on the mound for the Hokies, not allowing any runs in the first 3 innings. However, North Carolina State was able to put together 2 runs in the fourth and 3 in the fifth to take the game. The Hokies were unable to get anything going offensively and only recorded 3 hits on the day. Hines went 4.1 innings, allowing 4 runs on 4 hits with 3 walks and 4 strikeouts. The Hokies will return home for a 3-game series against Boston College.
The track and field team came out strong with 3 wins this past weekend at the Hurricane Invitational in Miami. On the women's side, Jasmine Mitchell reached her second win in the women's 400-meter race with a time of 54.28 seconds, as well as the second place finish in the 200 with a time of 24.22. Sierra Sims earned a third place finish in the 100-meter dash with a time of 11.93 seconds. Nora McIver reached second place in the 100-meter hurdles with a time of 14.02. Jonna Dominic jumped 5 feet 5 inches in the high jump for a second place finish. The Virginia Tech men did just as well as the women, with the 4x100 meter relay racing to first place with a time of 40.94. Dante Price won the 200-meter dash with a 20.74, and Tadashi Pinder came in second in the 100-meter dash with a personal best of 10.43. Marcus Finney got a fifth-place finish in the 110-meter hurdles with a 14.96. Alexander Merritt reached third place in the men's 400-meter hurdles with a time of 55.09. The Hokies are back in action at the Raleigh Relays and Texas Relays this weekend.
The lacrosse team beat Coastal Carolina 18-9 at Thompson Field Saturday afternoon. Megan Will led the way for the Hokies as she put away 4 goals and recorded 4 assists on the day. Tech scored first when Jessie Thon found the back to the net. The Chanticleers evened things up a minute later, but the Hokies went on a 9-0 run to give them the 10-1 advantage. Coastal then went on a 4-2 run, but the Hokies led going into the half 12-5. Meg Bartley started things off for the Hokies in the second half when she scored, giving Tech a 13-5 lead while adding another goal at her own 3 minutes later. The Chanticleers were unable to get back into the game, and Tech took the 18-9 victory. Tech returns to action on Wednesday, March 26th when they travel to number 1, North Carolina.
That's all we have for you on this edition of Tech Total Access. Please join us next week for more hard-hitting sports action. As always,
Go Hokies!